Alright, now one of my favorite restaurant dishes of all time is Nobu's Miso Black Cod. But black cod can be hard to find and it's kind of expensive, so we're going to make a recipe from Kenji-Lopez Alt that uses salmon instead. Now let's hop into it.
Now to get started, you're going to need a pound to a pound and a half of salmon. Now hopefully they've been removed, but if not, make sure to take out those pin bones as they can be pretty sharp. We're going to cut the salmon into 5 to 7 ounce pieces, so for me that's 3 here, and honestly whether you want to leave the skin on the salmon is completely up to you. After we bake it, we're going to end up removing the skin anyways. Okay, now it's time for the miso glaze. So we're going to start off with a 1/4 cup white miso paste, a 1/4 cup dry sake, 2 tablespoons mirin, 2 teaspoons shoyu, 1 tablespoon peanut oil, and a 1/4 cup white sugar. Then take a whisk and mix together until you have no more clumps remain and your miso glaze is nice and smooth. Now we're going to add in our salmon fillets and then we're going to cover with the miso glaze, making sure each piece is nicely coated. Kenji does right that for best results you should let this marinade sit for at least 30 minutes, but as with most marinades, the more time you give it, the better it's going to taste, and you can actually marinate for up to 2 days, in which you'll cover with plastic wrap and then put in the fridge. Now when the fish is done marinating and you're ready to begin cooking, you can begin to prep your vegetables. So we're going to start by taking 8 green onions. We're going to remove the ends off and then we're going to cut into small pieces at an angle. We're going to be cooking this with the salmon underneath the broiler, so we need bigger pieces so it can withstand that heat. In the same fashion, we're going to take 3 heads of broccoli. We're going to remove off the stems and then cut into similar sized pieces as the green onion. After that, I'm prepping a little bit of garnish, so these are completely optional, but I like to do some thinly sliced cucumber. It's going to give a nice fresh crunch, in which we're going to cut these in half, and then we're going to take 1 more green onion and we're just going to slice thinly. For baking, we're going to take a large sheet pan and we're going to cover with some aluminum foil. Then we're going to take the marinated fish and just make sure the pieces are spread evenly. The key to the foil is that if any of our pieces start to burn, we can actually cover it with the aluminum foil. Now once you're done with that, you're going to take some extra miso glaze and spread on each piece of fish. We want these vegetables to have some extra flavor, so once we're done glazing the fish, we're actually going to add in the broccoli and the green onion into our reserve marinade, and you're going to mix around until all of the vegetables are fully coated. I think this marinade is so good and there's no way I could let any of it go to waste. Once it's done, just take the vegetables and make sure they're spread evenly around the fish. For cooking, you're going to want to turn your broiler on high and then let that sit for 10 minutes and adjust the rack so the salmon would be about 4 inches away from the flame. Now it took me about 6 to 7 minutes and I spun the pan halfway through, but you know it's going to be done when your salmon and your vegetables have that beautiful glazed color. For plating, you know we got to go with some white rice, so I'm adding a couple spoonfuls of that into a bowl. Then we're going to take some of our vegetables and some extra glaze and make sure you have plenty of that as a base layer, and then we're going to add in that beautiful piece of salmon. For garnishing, I like to add the cucumber onto the side here. You could also go with some pickled ginger, and then we're going to top with some black sesame seeds, white sesame seeds, and then our sliced green onion from earlier, and there you have it, Kenji-Lopez Miso Salmon Bowls. If you guys like the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.